So hopefully the ISO isn't too bright. It doesn't look too bright here. I'm gonna set this up, we're gonna talk. I don't know if I ever showed you guys my car, but that's my car. So now that we're all set up, I want to talk to you guys about psychology and the subconscious mind. You know, as a person, as a trader, you do things that you don't even realize you're doing, right? And that can be a handful of things. Now, as a trader, you guys probably know what you're doing, or you might not. These are bad habits, and these are now built into your routine. They are. So when something is in your routine, you do it without awareness. You're not aware you're doing it. And that's what failure stems from you doing the same thing every single day, making it a habit, and now it's built into your life. Now, instead of actually trading, you're gambling. You're not applying proper risk management. You're not journaling your trades. You're not tracking what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. You're just going with the flow of things. Now, if you don't have a trading plan, you're already setting yourself up for failure because you don't know what you're doing. You have no confidence backing your system and your strategy. You have no confluence backing your system and your strategy. And confidence comes from confluence. You need to know why you're getting in a trade, why you're getting out of a trade. You need to know how much you're risking before you get into the trade and how much return you're getting on that trade. What's your ROI on the trade? What's your RR? Right? You need to know all of these things because if you don't, you're going to fail. You might end up with a negative RR. You might end up risking more than you're actually winning, or you might just be ending up risking your entire account and you end up blowing it. And now you have to pass another evaluation. You have to buy another evaluation if you already got funded. You risk your entire account. You blew your funded within one trade one day. You don't want to do this. You want to preserve your capital. You want to preserve what you're doing because there comes a point where you run out of money. Money does not grow on trees, and you doing the same thing every single day is going to drain your pockets and it's going to drain you mentally. I've been there. I've tried over-risking my entire account. I've tried going for these home runs every single day. I've tried doing these things that set you back every single day. And the more that you do it is the more that it ties into your life. You need to take hold of your life. You need to take hold of your discipline. You need to take hold of your consistency. You need to build good routines outside of your trading so it leads into your trading. Because what you do on a daily basis outside of the charts is going to affect what you do on the charts, right? So I bodybuild. I'm in the gym constantly. I'm tracking my diet constantly. I have a coach. Shout out Coach Kyle. Right. So I am being held accountable within my training, within what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, eating. Every single week we figure out, okay, why did Angelo lose weight? Why did he gain 30 pounds? It's because he ate like a pig and he's not supposed to. So if I gain 30 pounds within the week, 2 weeks, and I don't do my check-ins and I do my check-ins, Kyle's going to be like, what are you doing? I went off plan. It's just like trading. You blow your account because you go off plan. You're not blowing your account because you don't know how to trade. You're blowing your account and you're failing constantly on a day-to-day basis because you're not sticking to the plan. And if you have a plan, but the tentacles aren't working, you need to find a strategy that does work, that has data backing it from the person showing you the strategy. If you're learning the strategy from someone, make sure they have results backing what they do, because if they don't, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. A lot of people online, they're going to fake results. They're going to fake their own results, right? But if they have their own results proved, and they also have results from their students backing them, that makes them somewhat reputable. That makes them reputable. Okay, learn their system. But say you don't do that. Say you learn by yourself. You go on YouTube and you try to figure out a system and a strategy to put into play. You need the data. You need the data backing you. You need to figure out the data. You need to back test. You need a live test. You need a front test. You need to do all of this stuff. You need a live trade in the real market to gain the market experience, right? Not in a simulated environment, because it's one thing if you're good back testing, but once you go into the live market, you might not understand what to do. It's because you're not understanding the real market conditions. You're just clicking play. You're playing candle by candle. It's not going to work over time. It works for data. It works understanding what entry models work. That's it. It doesn't make you a good trader. So build the data backing your system, have an edge, and stop going from mentor to mentor. Stop thinking that there's going to be one strategy that works for all. There's going to be only one strategy that works. SMC, supply and demand, ICT, support and resistance, trend lines, fibs, RSI, they all work. They all work. And people try to just talk down on other strategies that they don't trade. Every strategy works. I can tell you that right now. Every strategy works. Whether if you go with my strategy or someone else. But they all work. But you need to figure out how to make it work for yourself. You need to gather the data. You can't just go into the live market, risk your entire account, and boom, you're profitable. No. You need to do consistent things every single day, which is good habits, not bad habits. Stop over risking. Stick to risk. Stick to taking a couple trades a day, one trade a day. Because the second you start over trading, the second you start over risking, the second you start revenge trading, trying to chase that money back, you're going to fall behind and you're not going to get where you want to be. And it's as simple as that. So you guys need to understand that you can't just come into the market and risk your entire account and think you're going to be profitable, or try to go for these home runs when instead you should be compounding and building and building and building and building and building, because that is what your data is under. That's what your data is. That's how you're going to understand who you are as a trader. Your data. And if you have the data in backtesting, but you go into the live market and you do something that you're not doing backtesting, how do you expect that data to reflect what you're doing in the live market? It's not. Stop being a gambler. Stop over risking. Stop trying to chase the loss back immediately, because it's going to set you back. If you take a loss, get off the charts. If you think, oh, I'm going to make this money back immediately, I took a loss, I'm going to win so I can get the money back, it's not going to work. You're going to lose again. You're going to lose again. So if you have that mindset, just get off the charts. It's as simple as that. Just get off the charts, because you're gambling. You're trying to chase the money. And once you start chasing the money, you're going to start chasing yourself into a hole. And it's going to take you years to get out of that hole. I can promise you that. Stick to the plan, track what you're doing. Don't go from strategy to strategy. Just please stick to one thing. And make sure you're not overdoing it. Make sure you're not chasing these home runs every single day, over risking, trying to achieve what other people have when they've been doing this for years upon years upon years. Stop trying to mimic other people's results and just focus on yourself. There's 4 ways to elevate yourself as a trader. Right? The first step, you're not understanding what you're doing. You're not being aware. The subconscious mind, you just do things. You do things, it's the human nature. Trying to chase losses, trying to make a lot of money very quick. It's not a get rich quick thing. It's not. But you taking these small wins, compounding, that's going to make it like quick money. It's slow money, but that slow money is going to be quick. You just don't understand that in the moment. So focus in the moment, but also focus on the longevity aspect of it. Number 2 is writing down and tracking what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Because if you're not tracking what you're doing, how do you expect to understand and know what you're doing? You're not going to. So make sure you journal your trades. You write down everything that you're doing every single day. Outside of trading, inside of trading, whatever it is, build a solid, just a plan, build a solid foundation of life so then you can reflect that upon your trading. And number 3 is realizing what you're doing and actually becoming aware. Turn that into your conscious mind. Understand that, oh, Angelo, I'm over risking. I'm over trading. I'm chasing my losses. Or I don't see anything and I get FOMO when I get into the market. I'm going to stop doing this, because number 4, that leads into you not doing those things and turning the bad habits into good habits. And that's what you need to do. The main reason as to why you are failing is because you have nothing but bad habits going on within your trading. And if it is your edge, you need to fix that, and you need to find someone that has proper data and results backing what they're doing.